Why your blood pressure spikes in the morning and how to stop it. Hi there, and welcome to Elderly Made Easy, the channel where growing older doesn't mean slowing down. If you're over 60 and looking for simple, practical ways to stay healthy, feel stronger, and live life with more ease and confidence, you're in the right place. Here, we break down the stuff no one talks about, but everyone feels, as we age. From aching joints and low energy to sleep troubles and blood pressure spikes, we give you real solutions in plain language. No fluff. No fancy jargon. Just helpful tips you can actually use. So if that sounds good to you, take a second to click that like button. It really helps us reach more people who need this kind of support. And hit subscribe so you never miss a new video. We've got a lot more coming your way, and I'd love to have you with us every step of the journey. Now let's dive into today's topic. Have you ever woken up and just felt off? Maybe your head feels a little fuzzy, your heart's racing more than usual, or your body feels tense before the day even starts. You haven't even had breakfast yet, and somehow, it feels like your blood pressure is already up and running ahead of you. You're not alone. For many people over 60, this is a frustrating and even frightening way to start the day. Mornings should be peaceful. A time for a fresh start, not a daily battle with your body. But if your blood pressure tends to spike in the early hours, there's a real reason behind it, and good news, there are real things you can do about it. In today's video, we're going to talk about exactly why this happens after 60 and how to stop it from taking over your mornings. We'll dig into what's going on in your body, how your morning routine might be making it worse, and 5 simple habits that can help you take back control, starting tomorrow morning. Let's begin with the first thing most people don't realize. Your body isn't just waking up when you open your eyes. Behind the scenes, your system has already been hard at work. There's something called the morning surge, and it's completely natural. Right before you wake up, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline to get you going. They raise your heart rate, tighten your blood vessels, and essentially rev you up for the day. That's normal. But as we age, especially after 60, this response can become exaggerated. Your blood vessels become less flexible, your kidneys don't regulate fluids as efficiently, and your nervous system doesn't balance out stress responses as quickly as it used to. All of this means your body can go from resting to overdrive in a matter of minutes, sending your blood pressure soaring just when you should be easing into the day. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This natural morning surge, on its own, might not be a problem. But mix it with certain habits, especially common ones among older adults, and it can spell trouble. One of the biggest culprits is dehydration. Think about it, you've just gone 7 or 8 hours without drinking anything. Your blood volume drops, your heart has to work harder to pump it through narrowed vessels, and your blood pressure climbs as a result. A lot of folks don't realize how much water matters, especially first thing in the morning. 1 glass of water before you even get out of bed can help your system settle down. It gives your body the hydration it needs to circulate blood more easily and keeps your pressure from spiking unnecessarily. But it's not just water. Another morning mistake that can trigger blood pressure spikes is getting up too fast. It sounds harmless, how bad could it be, right? But when you move from lying down to standing, your blood shifts quickly. For younger people, their systems adjust right away. For folks over 60, not so much. Your body needs more time to catch up. Standing too quickly can lead to a sudden jump in heart rate and blood pressure, and for some, it can even cause dizziness or falls. A better way? Sit on the edge of the bed for a moment, take a few deep breaths, stretch your legs gently. Give your body time to ease into the day instead of jolting it awake. Speaking of easing in, stress is another major player here, and morning stress is sneakier than you think. We often think of stress as something that hits us later in the day, but for many seniors, it begins the moment they wake up. Worrying about doctor's appointments, family issues, finances, even just scanning the news, these things all add up. And here's the kicker. Your body doesn't know the difference between mental stress and physical threat. The same fight or flight chemicals flood your system either way, raising your blood pressure. That's why building a calming morning routine, something you enjoy and can look forward to, makes such a difference. Whether it's sitting quietly with a cup of tea, journaling for 5 minutes, or taking a gentle morning walk, starting the day on your own terms helps set the tone and calms that early surge. We also have to talk about medication timing. A lot of blood pressure meds are taken in the morning, but depending on the type and your body's schedule, that might actually be working against you. Some medications take a while to kick in, which means your body is already going through that morning spike before the meds have time to do their job. In some cases, your doctor might recommend taking them at night instead, so they're already in full effect by the time you wake up. Of course, this is something you should always discuss with your doctor. Never change medication timing on your own. But it's an important piece of the puzzle, especially if you've noticed your numbers are always high in the morning and normal later on. Even breakfast plays a role. Many people skip it, or they grab something convenient but not exactly blood pressure friendly. Salty cereals, sugary pastries, processed meats, these can all send your numbers higher. Instead, a balanced breakfast with whole grains, healthy fats, and a bit of protein can give your body a steady foundation and prevent wild swings in your pressure throughout the morning. Something as simple as oatmeal with a few berries, or scrambled eggs with avocado and whole grain toast, can make a real difference, not just for your heart, but for your energy, your mood, and your focus. These small changes might not seem like much on their own, but when they come together, they can completely change how your mornings feel. And once your mornings improve, the rest of your day tends to follow. Now, let's keep going deeper into what might be causing those blood pressure spikes, and how to bring even more calm and balance to your mornings. So, now that we've started to unpack some of the things that can throw your blood pressure off first thing in the morning, like jumping out of bed too fast or starting the day dehydrated, let's talk about what's happening inside your body that might be setting the stage for these daily pressure surges. Here's something a lot of people don't realize: your body follows a natural rhythm, kind of like a built-in clock. It's called your circadian rhythm, and it controls everything from your sleep to your body temperature, and yes, even your blood pressure. Normally, blood pressure dips a little at night, which gives your heart a bit of a break. But if that drop doesn't happen, or if your pressure actually rises during the night instead, that morning spike can hit you like a wall. Now, why would blood pressure stay high at night? A big reason is poor sleep. And not just not enough sleep, but broken sleep. You know those nights where you toss and turn, wake up to use the bathroom 2 or 3 times, or have trouble falling back asleep once you're up? That kind of sleep throws your whole system off. When your brain doesn't get that deep, uninterrupted rest, your body doesn't either. And when your body doesn't rest, it doesn't reset. That means you wake up with stress hormones still running high, your blood vessels tight, and your heart pumping faster than it needs to. A lot of people over 60 deal with this and chalk it up to just part of aging. But it's not something you have to just accept. Simple things like limiting screen time before bed, cutting back on caffeine late in the day, or keeping your bedroom cooler and darker can help you get more restful sleep. Even setting a bedtime, yes, like when we were kids, can train your body to wind down properly again. And while we're talking about rest, let's touch on something that might surprise you. What you think about before bed can affect your blood pressure the next morning. If your mind is racing with worries, what the doctor might say at your next checkup, how your retirement savings are doing, whether your kids are okay, you're not alone. But here's the catch: even when you're lying still, your body responds to those worries as if something bad is about to happen. It keeps your heart rate a little higher, your muscles a little tighter, and your blood pressure elevated through the night. That's why something as simple as writing in a notebook before bed, just jotting down your thoughts or even 3 things you're grateful for, can help offload that mental pressure and ease your body into a more peaceful night. Now, let's look at another sneaky morning trigger, one that might be hiding in plain sight. I'm talking about coffee. Yep, that beloved cup of joe. For many of us, the smell of coffee is the smell of morning. And while a cup or 2 might be just fine for some people, caffeine can temporarily raise blood pressure, especially in the first hour or 2 after you wake up. For someone already dealing with morning spikes, that extra push can be too much. Now, I'm not saying you have to give up your coffee completely, but try this: have your water first, then give yourself a little time before you brew that cup. Maybe 30 to 45 minutes. That gives your body time to wake up gently, hydrate, and stabilize before the caffeine kicks in. And if you feel jittery or notice your heart racing after coffee, it might be worth trying half CAF or switching to a lighter roast. Sometimes, just adjusting the timing or strength can make a world of difference. Let's also talk about one of the biggest game changers when it comes to managing morning blood pressure spikes: movement. And no, I don't mean dragging yourself to the gym or going for a jog around the neighborhood. I mean gentle, easy movement that gets your blood flowing and tells your body, hey, it's a new day, and we're ready. Stretching, walking around the house, or even a few slow breathing exercises while you sit at the edge of the bed, these little movements help signal your nervous system to shift from sleep mode into calm alertness. The kind of alertness that's peaceful, not panicked. And when your nervous system is calm, your blood pressure responds in kind. Something as simple as 5 minutes of deep breathing, where you inhale slowly through your nose, hold it for a moment, and then exhale even more slowly through your mouth, can have a powerful effect. It reduces cortisol, eases tension in your blood vessels, and gets your heart working at a more relaxed rhythm. That's not just relaxing, it's healing. And it's free. You don't need a prescription or equipment, just your own breath and a few quiet minutes. Let's not forget how important routine is. When your mornings feel chaotic, when you're rushing, skipping meals, searching for your glasses, running late, it sends your body into a stress state without you even realizing it. But when you create a rhythm to your morning, your body learns to expect calm instead of chaos. Wake up at the same time. Drink your water. Stretch a little. Breathe deeply. Eat something nourishing. Keep it simple, keep it repeatable. That's what builds consistency, and consistency is where long-term change really begins. It's not about perfection, it's about building little habits that work together to create better mornings. And better mornings lead to better days, better weeks, better health. Now, we've covered a lot already, from hydration to movement to managing stress, but there's still one more piece we haven't touched yet, and it's a big one. And that piece is what's on your plate. Or more specifically, what you're not eating, or not eating soon enough, once the day begins. A lot of people, especially over 60, tend to skip breakfast or delay it until later in the morning. Maybe you're not hungry, or maybe you're used to just sipping coffee and getting on with your day. But here's the thing, going too long without food after waking up can actually make your blood pressure rise even more. Your body's been fasting all night. Your blood sugar is low, your system is still trying to balance itself out, and what it really needs is some fuel to stabilize everything. When you skip breakfast, your body doesn't just sit and wait patiently. It kicks on the stress response, releasing cortisol, increasing your heart rate, tightening blood vessels, all in an effort to keep you upright and alert. And that, of course, sends your blood pressure soaring. Now I'm not saying you need a huge breakfast. In fact, something simple can go a long way. A little protein, a bit of healthy fat, and maybe some fiber, like a boiled egg with a slice of whole grain toast, or a small bowl of oats with berries and a spoon of almond butter. Nothing fancy, nothing heavy. Just something that tells your body, we're safe, we're fed, we can calm down. And let's talk about salt for a second, because this is where things get tricky. A lot of folks think managing blood pressure just means cutting out salt completely. But it's not quite that black and white. Yes, too much salt can definitely raise blood pressure, but here's the catch: when you go too low on salt, especially as you get older, your body can get confused. It might try to compensate by holding onto fluid, or raising stress hormones, or making you feel lightheaded and fatigued. The real problem isn't usually the salt you shake onto your eggs, it's the salt hidden in processed foods. Canned soups, frozen dinners, deli meats, even some cereals and sauces, they can all be packed with sodium. So if you're trying to manage morning blood pressure, the better strategy is to ease off the packaged stuff and focus more on whole, simple foods you prepare yourself. That way, you can still enjoy a bit of salt without overloading your system first thing in the day. And while we're on the topic of food, here's a little known trick: potassium. This mineral is like salt's quiet cousin. It helps balance out sodium in your body and relaxes your blood vessels. Most people don't get enough, especially after 60. But it's in so many tasty, everyday foods. Bananas, avocados, sweet potatoes, spinach, even plain yogurt. If you can get more of those into your morning routine, even just a little, it can do wonders for your blood pressure. Now, before we wrap up, I want to bring up something that's often overlooked, but can have a surprisingly big impact. And that's emotional pressure. Not blood pressure, but the weight you might be carrying from day to day. Worries about your health, your finances, your family. Regrets that creep in from the past. Stress about what lies ahead. You might not even realize how much you're holding on to, especially in the morning, when everything feels quiet and your thoughts can be the loudest. Here's what I want you to know, you're not alone in that. And those feelings? They're valid. But they don't have to control your body. There are ways to shift your perspective, gentle ways, not forced positivity, but honest, simple practices that help lift the weight a little. One of the most powerful? Gratitude. Not the cheesy kind, but real, grounded gratitude. Waking up and thinking, I'm here. I've got another day. My body's still working for me. That small mindset shift can change your nervous system, your breathing, your blood pressure, yes, really. Pair that with something physical, a morning walk, stretching to your favorite music, sitting by the window with the sunlight on your face, and you've created a space for calm. And calm is where healing happens. Not just physically, but emotionally too. You see, managing your blood pressure isn't just about numbers on a screen or medications in a bottle. It's about creating a rhythm in your life that supports your heart, not just your physical heart, but your emotional one too. That means treating yourself with patience, showing yourself a little grace when you don't get it perfect, and finding those moments of peace that help set the tone for your whole day. And now, let's talk about movement. Not the kind that requires a gym membership or fancy equipment, but just the simple act of getting your body going, gently, as soon as you can in the morning. Because here's something many people over 60 don't realize, your circulation slows down overnight. That stiffness in your legs, the heaviness in your feet, even that groggy feeling in your head, it's all connected to your blood moving a little slower after hours of lying still. And if you stay still too long after waking up, that sluggishness can actually push your blood pressure even higher. Your heart is trying to push blood through a body that isn't quite awake yet. That's why just a few minutes of light movement, like walking around the house, stretching by the kitchen sink, or even marching in place while the coffee brews, can tell your body, okay, it's time to wake up gently. We're flowing now. You don't need to overdo it. This isn't about burning calories or working up a sweat. It's about circulation. About helping your blood vessels relax. About reminding your muscles and joints that they still work and that they're part of your morning support system. And it's also about something that often gets forgotten, oxygen. Moving your body helps you breathe more deeply, and deeper breathing sends a clear signal to your nervous system, relax, we're okay, no need to panic. That brings me to something else, something just as important, hydration. Believe it or not, you can wake up slightly dehydrated, especially as you age. And when your body is low on fluids, your blood can actually thicken a bit. It sounds strange, but think of it like this, less water in your system means your heart has to work harder to pump what's there. And that effort can show up as a spike in your blood pressure. So here's a small, powerful habit that can make a big difference. Keep a glass of water by your bed. Not a huge bottle, just a regular glass. And when you wake up, before you check your phone or turn on the TV, drink it slowly. Let your body absorb it. That first sip of water helps replenish your system, flush out stress hormones, and ease the strain on your heart. It's such a simple act, but over time, it can create a real shift in how your mornings feel. And if you want to take it one step further, add a squeeze of lemon. It's refreshing, it helps your digestion, and it gives you a little vitamin C kick to start the day. Plus, it's just pleasant. And mornings should feel pleasant, don't you think? Now I want to circle back for a second, not to repeat, but to remind. Managing blood pressure, especially those frustrating morning spikes, isn't about being perfect. It's about creating little moments of care. From breathing to breakfast, from hydration to movement, from letting go of tension to embracing the quiet of morning, it all adds up. Not instantly, not dramatically, but gently and consistently. And if you're already doing some of these things, that's amazing. You're already ahead. If some of this feels new, or like a lot to think about, that's okay too. The most important thing is starting. Not next week, not when everything is just right, but tomorrow morning. Just one small shift. One choice that says, I'm taking care of myself today. You deserve that. Your body has carried you through decades of life, of love, of challenge, of change. It's earned this kind of care. And the beautiful thing is, the more you give it what it needs, the more it gives back. Steadier blood pressure, calmer mornings, more energy, and a sense of control that doesn't come from fear, but from knowledge, confidence, and kindness toward yourself. So let's walk into each morning knowing this: you're not at the mercy of your blood pressure. You have tools. You have habits. You have choices. And those choices, no matter how small, can shape the way your heart, your brain, and your entire day functions. If this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story. Have you noticed your blood pressure creeping up in the mornings? Have you tried anything that helped? Drop your experience in the comments. You never know, what helped you might help someone else too. And if you found value in this video, go ahead and tap that like button. It tells us you're here, you're engaged, and you want more content like this. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel, because we're just getting started. There's so much more to share, and I'd love to walk that path with you. Here's to calmer mornings, steadier hearts, and feeling empowered at any age. You're doing better than you think, and your best days can still be ahead. Let's keep going, together.